Bread with bears. This is bread with bears. Bread with bears. This is bread with bears. Bread with bears. Bread with bears. And your host, Annalise Kamagawa. With bears. Yeah. Today's show is divided up into 3 segments. First, we have Naan with Somitra, where Somitra will take us through his lovely naan recipe. 2, While the Bread Rises. While we are waiting for the bread, our lovely guests will talk about their Cal experiences. And 3, Everybody Eating, because, well, no one actually wants to talk, everyone just wants to eat. Somitra?
Hi everyone, we're here today to try to make naan. I've done this like twice before, so here goes. We want some warm water, and we want to add a roughly equal amount of flour, and a packet of yeast. I'd say about a cup of warm water and a cup of flour just to start with. We're going to add more flour later. So we want to cover this and let it rest for about 15-20 minutes until we see it starting to bubble, and then we'll add our milk and our yogurt and some more flour and start making the dough.
Okay, welcome to Bread with Bears. I'm your host, Annalise Kamagawa. My favorite question is, not my favorite, I have many questions. They're like children, you know? But when you think of Berkeley, what do you think of as like Berkeley icons?
Hell yeah guy. Anytime you're on Telegraph and you hear the dude and you're like, that's the guy who says hell yeah. And that's hell yeah guy.
There was a similar guy that lived down the street from here.
The woo guy.
Yeah, can you talk about woo guy?
Yeah.
So I think he lives like across, probably like in the apartments over there. Yeah, and then like every single night he started yelling woo, kind of like around like 10ish maybe. And then once I played, I got really frustrated, or not frustrated, kind of just like humored by it. So I looked up a peacock mating call on my phone, like a YouTube video, and I played it out the window, and he kind of stopped for a sec.
Interesting.
But then he kind of started the next night.
Huh. So here we have the risen flour and water mixture. You can see it's all like nice and bubbly and frothy, so that means the yeast is working. Now we're gonna add a little bit of yogurt and a little splash of milk. Now I'm just mixing it to get the yogurt and the milk all mixed in there. Yeah, probably need some more flour.
Any embarrassing moments?
Or I remember one time I was a freshman and it was dead week and I was really stressed out about my math final. And so I was walking back from a study session and this girl on Sproul asked me, "Do you want to help children?" And I just shouted at her, "No, I don't."
Yeah.
So here we have our dough. It's like, yeah, it's mostly done. We just added a little bit of salt. You want to knead it and gradually add flour until it's sort of this consistency that you can see here. And then you want to cover it with a little bit of olive oil. Okay, and we're just going to let this sit and rise for about an hour or until it's about doubled in size. Could take 1 to 2 hours depending on the temperature and depending on the kind of yeast you used. You should ask her about the 420 story.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
420 story. You came here with your mom on 420.
Oh yeah, so I was with my mom and my sister and I was in 8th grade, and it was actually, my sister was looking at all the UCs. And so we get here and we didn't realize we booked a tour ahead of time, and we were doing a tour of like a bunch of UCs like up and down California, and we didn't realize it was 420 until after we got here. And you kind of were like, wow, do this many people smoke like all the time? Because it's kind of like, oh, I think that's like fog rolling in, but you know it's not. And so we got to campus, and I remember we were really hungry at lunchtime, and
Because it was 420, you know?
yeah, exactly. So we were looking for food, but we were too afraid, or my mom was too afraid to buy anything. So I remember like getting nachos from someone on Sproul, and like my mom and my sister asking like, is there anything in this? But yeah, like.
this leads me to my last question of the evening. Let's talk about your most glutinous moment at Cal.
I don't know. It's kind of hard to pick one. I've had a lot of pretty glutinous moments. I don't know. Learning how to make this was definitely fun because it took me like. One of my friends went on the internet and decided that we were gonna learn how to make naan. And then we tried it like 5 different times, and just like a different thing went wrong every single time of those first 5 times. And then the 6th time we finally got it, and then now it's just really satisfying to be able to make this because it took me a long time to get everything right.
Everyone says 6 times the charm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once I tried to make a sourdough starter and make sourdough bread, except my bread turned out to be a brick. So I learned how to make bricks. But I didn't realize you had to feed your sourdough starter, and that to keep things alive, you have to nourish them. So.
Those are 2 beautiful stories. Thank you for coming on Bread with Bears today.
Thanks for getting all the ingredients, dude. Cooking was my favorite part.
Dude, yeah. We didn't have to eat my bread, we did, but. And that's Bread with Bears, you guys. Thank you all for coming.
Everyone's welcome to have that.